Hello. Alright, I'm gonna write some more Goldratt stuff. I wrote stuff about it yesterday on stream. You can see that in the number 63 stream if you want. And I'm just gonna start over and write stuff again and see how it goes. So I'm gonna open It's Not Luck. I read some of this yesterday and I wanted to review part of it. The part where I said 5 or 10 examples. Maybe I'll search for examples. Maybe that wasn't the word he used. Word 10? 5? Here we go. Oh, it's and 10. Between 5 and 10. That's why searching for or 10 didn't work. I think that's what I searched. Okay. So Nick, you're listening to me talk? Okay, so Now, currently, of course, our experts let us down, but the solution to bad experts is not for mask companies to think that they're medical experts or whatever, and that they know when the next pandemic is coming. Alright, there we go. Why are these words underlined? They're not typos. To and by? Like, what the fuck? Glitchy. Wait, that one just turned red again. Why does it? What? It's weird. Whatever. Alright, current reality trees. Let me okay. Okay. Okay, they write a bunch of stuff down. I know the next step is connecting the node too. Connect node. Easy question. Hazlitt too. Time will run back by Hazlitt. For a brave. Time will run back is really nice. It explains economics in a novel. Heinlein has a novel that tries to explain ideas. It's very lectury and it's terrible and it explains bad economics, but it exists. It was one of his first books. But then all his if you go to Wikipedia and you look at the Heinlein book list, his bibliography, it's divided into three sections, early, mid, late. Everything in the early section is good. Later stuff is more hit and miss. The early ones include all the juveniles. A lot of them are on the shorter side and easy to read. And they're not amazing. They don't compare to Goldratt and Rand or whatever. They're just good. They're solid. This Perfect Day I only found out about recently. It was quite good. It's another dystopia one. I found out about it from Leonard Peikoff's daughter, who mentioned it in an interview as one of her favorite books. And her own books are terrible, but I really enjoyed This Perfect Day. There's another one that it's We. I think is it We book. I only tried a little bit of this book and I didn't get very far and it seemed bad as a first impression, but I don't really know. I should probably try it more. It's supposed to be another similar one. See, they're talking about Brave New World in 1984 or Orwell or whatever in the Wikipedia description. Anyway, so this is another one. We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. So I can't say how good this one is, but I just found like chapter 1 seemed boring, but that doesn't say all that much, I don't know. I read another dystopia one called The Giver. It was very mediocre, but it was okay. It wasn't bad. It apparently has sequels, but I didn't like it enough to try them, or at least I haven't gotten around to it. The Giver is very short and easy to read. It gets assigned in school. Some parts of it were a bit boring or annoying, but it definitely had some decent stuff in it. Okay, Goldratt has 5 main novels, which is a lot. I believe you only read 2 of them. Goal and Luck. Oh wait, and Critical Chain 3. Plus he read Choice, the not novel. But he has 2 more main novels. Isn't It Obvious and Necessary but Not Sufficient? I think those are the novels that are the main other novels. Plus he has nonfiction. Plus he has a lot of videos. This is an old website. It's awful in a lot of ways, but it literally has like 50 hours of Goldratt talking on camera that is possible to buy. Their player is awful, and it's a huge hassle to get this stuff downloaded onto your own computer so you can use your own player. And it doesn't have any speed up, if I remember right. But it is possible to get the content, and yeah. There's like dozens of videos of Goldratt recorded. See, these are mostly from Goldratt, because I searched for Goldratt. They're not all. But that's a lot of videos. I have a new comment. Because behavior models are key if you want to have success introducing CR in organizations, and even TOC. As well, he addresses how to introduce TOC in organizations. I mean, of course it is that. You don't need to present like a philosophical model of behavior in order to say how to spread these ideas to organizations. TOC was very successful, like it spread to a lot of organizations. He made a lot of money. Like, not as successful as I think it should have been, but it's not like CR. Well, CR, some scientists use it, but anyway, a lot of TOC ideas are actually pretty widespread use. Like some of the main ones got picked up on, I think, and actually are common now. Like the bottleneck stuff, I think a lot of people know that in business. So there are quite a few companies where someone got more of their company on board with TOC and made a significant difference. And the goal sold like 7 million copies. And a lot of companies deal with bottlenecks now. I saw like an interview or something. It was from like semi-recent from some TOC consultant or something. And he said that in the early days of the goal, as a consultant, you just go to a company and you look around and you find like massive obvious bottlenecks. And you don't really need to know very much and you can make a huge improvement. And today it's a lot more subtle and you need to like gather data and use statistics and you can find the bottlenecks and do the same methods. but it's a lot more sophisticated and nuanced. So they've moved past the like just look around for which workstations have giant piles of inventory in front of them and like fix these sort of really obvious problems. Even stuff other than TOC has helped significantly with that. Like there's Lean and TQM and TPS and various other ones, and they have some ideas like you take like containers, you put them at the workstation, you fill up the containers, and you can only make stuff if you have an empty container to fill. And then you go take the containers to the people who need them, or they get them when they need them or something. But anyways, like your container only gets emptied when someone actually takes that part and uses it. And then you have a new empty container that lets you build another thing. So it keeps you doing a just-in-time approach. Like just-in-time, where you try not to build things earlier and have like limited amounts of inventory and work in process is very well known. That's not TOC only. And the spread of that makes it harder for TOC to find like really low-hanging fruit. So TOC is still important, but it's today a lot of the most basic stuff has actually gotten fixed and spread a lot. So it's a bit harder to find improvements with TOC. And Goldratt died, and none of his other people were really as much of a Jonah as he was. So I think some of them still do okay, but not like super amazing. That's my understanding. They have this new book, I haven't opened it yet, called Hanging Fire. Well, new like from 2014 or something. But they're now teaching this from like the Goldratt Institute or something. So that they tried to like update some stuff. But I have not read this yet. But it's another novel. So they tried to make like a sort of modern The Goal that has some new stuff and will have some added relevance today because people know some of the things from The Goal already. Definitely not everything from The Goal, but if a lot of people already know like half of the main points from The Goal, then it's going to have a lower impact. There's a reason to make a new book, but my wild guess is that this new book is a lot worse. It's probably just not comparable. Similar to the Phoenix Project is a relatively new book that tries to apply TOC and a few other things to tech and software companies. And it's okay. It's mixed. It has some good points, but it also has some bad points. Like the thinking quality is just not close to Goldratt's. This guy, I don't know. I don't know what to say to him. Alright, anyways. I finished chapter 16, I think. Okay, this is the part where they're doing the pairs. Okay, this is like a 2B. Whatever, I'll just call it 3. It's basically formulate an if-then relation. To check if your action is good enough. Connected. I see. How did he post again? He's not interested in the theory of TOC. Hello. I was maybe gonna try making a tree with you on stream for your philosophy of mind topic, but I've been busy. But after I finish writing today, if you're still around, maybe. I'm behind on a bunch of stuff. Like, I haven't gone through some of Nick's trees that he made and read them yet. What do you mean a lot of lectures? Like podcasts where he talks with other people? Or physics lectures? Because I don't think he has a lot of like solo philosophy lectures. There aren't all that many. Have you read his books? Oh, oops. You see. Okay, so haven't read them yet. The Fabric of Reality is how I got started with philosophy. BOI wasn't out yet. I really loved it. Fabric. I'm writing about Goldratt's philosophy. Currently, I'm summarizing info from the book It's Not Luck. Let me get a quote. There we go. For my videos, well, I would suggest looking at all my podcast titles and seeing which ones interest you. And I've been meaning to get I want to have a page where I have all of the videos with the titles and the descriptions on one page so you can find topics you're interested in. Justin hasn't made it yet though, so he did make it just for some of my streams, so I should put that up at some point. But anyways, also, so if you go to playlists, wait, it's better if I'm logged out. So it doesn't show, it only shows the public playlist this way. If you look at a screencast, educational commentary, song analysis, 12 rules for life, and philosophy, those you should generally find some of my better stuff there. And in particular, I want to recommend the I made it like the main video, but because I'm streaming, it's not showing up, I think.
Philosophy Tube is a YouTube channel with 180,000 subscribers.
No.
They got
Try this. Oh, I really like this one. This is not what I was looking for, but
The world changes by stumbling forward.
I'm just trying to find the FI info.
I made a reading list document.
Maybe it's screencast? Oh yeah, I did not like them either. Here we go. This is what I was trying to find.
I'm going to give an overview of...
If you haven't seen this one, I definitely recommend Overview of Fallible Ideas Philosophy. And then part 2 is just 10 minutes. I thought of a couple things to add. Yeah, I have a lot more stuff in writing than videos, but there are a decent amount of videos. This quote is good. This was convenient for addressing his concerns. See, it's spread quite a bit. There's quite a bit of success, but not all of it is spread. Like I think a lot of people just only understand parts of it and not other parts. I've looked into some of the education stuff. There's like a TOC for education website, and they have like these things they call case studies. And broadly, I was not impressed. I thought they didn't do that good of a job. Like, I didn't think it was any worse than regular school, maybe better, but um, I didn't think it was like amazing or anything. They were getting the students to construct conflict cloud trees, which I think is probably generally a good thing. So it's probably an improvement, but I think they really overestimated how good they were doing. I spelled forward wrong. At least the book had an E. Are they both right? Forward. I just want to see search result numbers really quick. 43 million. 30 million. Oh, forward with an A. Oh, wait, are they different words? Oh, so forward as an introductory note is just spelled differently. So there's two different words that are pronounced the same, but they have different spellings. Did not know that. Probably have spelled it wrong a lot of times. Oh, Alright, back to writing. Wait, did Freeze quote me? I don't know which Curie message, I don't see the quote at a glance. Oh, Justin, I did change it from Genie to scale. However, it's just minimize using. Justin, are you watching the video, by the way? Or the stream? I don't know why minimize using would matter, except when you minimize something, and most of the time I'm not minimizing anything. Or unminimizing either. So I would assume most of the time this wouldn't matter which one it's set to. Let's try minimizing to see what scale effect looks like. Oh, I see. What does Genie effect look like? Oh, it's that thing. I got it. Oh, you're gonna alienate him. And you do not know what you're talking about enough to decide when people are lying. You should be a lot more careful with that than I am. You also don't know what reactions will happen as much as I do. I would not recommend copying how I handle that. Every time I think someone's lying and say so, I have like a lot of reasoning that I could back that up with. That you don't have the same way I do. Please. Okay, Justin agrees with me. The dock thing only affects when you're actually minimizing stuff. Yeah, my computer is being really laggy, and I had like 50 icons on my desktop, and some stupid guide said to just drag them all into a folder so you have like no icons on your desktop or one. And I did that, and then my performance got a lot better. So maybe it worked. If so, like Jesus Christ, Mac. I also closed a bunch of other windows, so that could have been a factor too. Maybe like one specific app or window was being nasty, but I don't know which one. But since I did a bunch of stuff a few days ago, it's gotten noticeably better. I was getting like large CPU spikes that would last like 15 seconds every like couple minutes at the time I did the cleanup, and then they just stopped. So that was really, really broken. Like the CPU spikes were to the point where my computer was non-responsive. I couldn't type. I couldn't go to Activity Monitor and see what app was high CPU because it wouldn't update until the spike was over because it was too overloaded. Huh? ORSM.net?
เชื่อ都仲未
Medical stuff? Oh, how China's carrying code. Are they abducting them or killing them or something? Because there are definitely stories about those things. I have no idea about that particular video. But there are first-hand reports of, e.g., someone who couldn't pay for hospital, and their family and other people did not want to pay, and then they were murdered. Okay, I'm just gonna write about a different topic now. Oh, I wanted the double dash. I didn't want it to change. Okay. Other topics. Brainstorm? See. When in doubt. Oh yeah, inherent simplicity. That's related to what I was already writing about, so I wanted to write more about this. Okay. Um, There's more on inherent simplicity in the choice in particular. Justin, you never read subscriber perks? Subscribestar.com/fallible ideas. I don't know if Justin's listening or not. Oh, he said K. I think he's listening. I think there's a hyphen. I already have the page open. Here. Oh, so the FI2 log should be updated now? Wait, I just downloaded like multiple things. fi2.zip? Wait, what? Oh, it showed on a different screen. Okay. Here we go. Is that the end? It's not quite, it's not updated, is it? What was the last thing I said that I wanted in the log? I don't know if I want this induction stuff. I wanted this, the critical thinking stuff, though. So somewhere around here. There's no timestamp, so it's harder to find where the fuck it is down to. Greg is an inductivist, feels bad, man. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's only updated to here. Okay, I'll try again in a bit. Okay, what else? Here's the topic. Oh, not no compromise. Fixing action. Okay, let's do that one. That's a very like TCS and DD kind of topic that TOC also shares. Yeah, I learned about compromise being bad, and you want decisive solutions from TCS and David Deutsch. And it is a centerpiece of my yes or no philosophy, where I took this great idea and I applied it to epistemology more broadly. Anyway, okay. So this sounds like a TCS idea, but this is like straight out of Goldratt. Okay. I guess I'll just make a diagram myself. My note's not open. View document. Okay. Select that. Let's do oh, it's Shift Enter. Okay. Um, this is the structure. And then Okay, conflict class. Save. I'm gonna recolor this. Third goal can be green. Oh, the border's too small. These are 6. There we go. I'm not going to use implies actually. Goldratt likes to do it like this. If G, then X. If X, then Y. If G, then A. If A, then B. Alright. Organize, that's the one. Move all nodes to bottom. There we go. I'm wondering what the best directionality is for this. Like, should the shared goal be on top, bottom, left, or right? Forget how Goldratt draws them. There's probably diagrams in the book. I wonder if I have like a... Okay, so I have the EPUB. Let's try it. Are there diagrams? There we go. So here's the goal on the left. So I will do that. Horizontal. There we go. So here's an example. He draws this arrow between, I'll draw the arrow, let's see. I'll do manual on this one. Just give a little more space between them. And then, what arrowheads do we have? Like that, basically. Oh, there's no comma here. That's why it's a different size. Now it's like flat and straight. Because they're the same length. He actually does it in the other way. See, he's doing if Sharon's home before 10. Well, that's to ensure Sharon's safety. You can read it if then in the other way. If we want to have a good family life, then we have to ensure Sharon's safety. If we want to ensure Sharon's safety, then Sharon has to be home before 10. In order to have a good family life, then Sharon has to be popular. Like, if we want this, then this is required. And then if we want this, Sharon is popular, then Sharon home around 12 is required. Dashed line. Dashed line. That's what the dashed line. I was trying to think of the word. Yeah, they have solid dots and dashes. So I think dashes makes the most sense for a conflict, a bad thing. Alright, there we go. Titled it. No, this got pushed down. Good enough. I kind of think he has his arrows backwards. Like, you construct it backwards. You construct it from here to here to here is the construction method, but the logic goes the other way. Project Veritas just sent an email. Let's see. Oh, Bernie dropped out. I saw that earlier. Ooh, they're gonna have an expose on the Bernie campaign. 4 videos. Sounds like fun. I will watch those. No, I just want to find their website. Yahoo? There we go. Oh, yep. This is very basic HTML. I have pretty basic HTML on some of my sites, like Fallible Ideas. What? Why is it not auto-completing? There we go. Like this is pretty fucking basic HTML. It works. People can read it. Saves effort on updates. Doesn't break much. Query's a bit more complicated, like it has a sidebar, but it's not that complicated. Similar with like Elliot Temple, it has a sidebar, but it's not that bad. Like click essays and you get a list, and you click and you get an essay, and there's still a sidebar. Some of the styling's like optional, like see these corners right here are rounded. Right, so when I added those rounded corners, it didn't work in Internet Explorer, which was still popular. However, if it doesn't work, you just get square corners. Like it doesn't, there's no downside really. So that's a good example of something that's optional. Like if it rounds the corners, cool. Otherwise it'll just ignore the command. So it'll be square. Okay, conflict clouds. So I made this conflict cloud thing. Right, let's make a quick conflict clouds PNG on my desktop. Then we can drag it in here. Oh, I changed it, so now I would need like a new image. Whatever, I won't update this. I'll just make a note. If I post this on my blog or something, I'll just I'll probably add a link anyways instead of the embedded image. Like this image will work if I do an export. That's what it's for. I can like export to PDF. And the image should show up. There it is. See, I can do this PDF export and I get this image. But if I export it to Markdown, the image isn't going to be there. Markdown preview. What does it do for the image? See, it just has a tag and conflict clouds. So what I'd have to do is upload the image to my web server and then put in the correct URL, and then it'll work. So it doesn't matter if the one in the document isn't the most updated because I'd be like re-uploading a new version anyways at that time. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the brainstorm. What else is there? Okay, so there's from buffer rope. Bottlenecks, constraints, goals, focus. This there Murphy. Buffers at her. Oh, they're basically saying you're gonna run into people's like clouds of germs if you're going fast. Um, Wait, did I do conflict clouds on the list already? Oh, I sort of did them. Um, hmm. Okay, so I guess pessimistic idealism left. So I can't talk with him. I think I might be done writing for the moment. Those 1550 words. Oh, plus this. That's another 250, so 1800. 1800 TOC. Alright, wrote that down. Oh, stream. I didn't figure out my sleep for last night yet. Okay. And there's this coronavirus thing. I looked at this. I think, is there an updated version? Oh, he's not online. He probably won't respond now. Anyway, this was a decent start. But I already looked at this one. Let's look at the other two. Oh, simple spelled wrong. Doesn't really matter. It's underlined though. Alright. Tree. Do not complicate stuff. It makes understanding and learning harder. Language, idea complexity, contradiction, and put in effort. Put an effort into making stuff simple and easy to understand by checking for the things in the other nodes of this tree. Oh, okay, so he's saying put effort into simplicity. Right, contradiction. Does what you say contradict something else you hold to be true? If yes, check your premises, at least one of them is wrong. Okay, so don't just come up with a bunch of ideas that contradict each other and ignore the problem. Language. Simple words, not fancy. Clear. Avoid confusion. Simple sentences. Limit metaphors. He actually says just don't use them. Idea complexity. Do not add extra layers of ideas if not absolutely needed. Note to self, this needs more work. Okay, yeah, this is a solid start on a tree. It could use more brainstorming and more ideas, I think. Here we go. Alright, now this one was a much more complicated one, so this one's going to take longer. Let's see. Okay, so J is the person Nick Luck was talking with. So we have N and J. This is not Justin. Some other J. How much should I zoom in? I think I'm going to zoom in this much. People believe what they believe. Very few change their views based on new input. Okay. So one of the things he doesn't say, but I assume he means was like adults. Like 6-year-olds change their mind. But he's saying that like 36-year-olds don't change their mind very often, which is a reasonable approximation of reality. Right, does it have to be that way? Right. So this question is not like are people like that? It's do they have to be like that or could they be better? The other branch is short, so we should go here first. I'll like draw slashes where I go, I guess. Or at least next to it so you know where I am. So I'm here. More people with good thinking methods, more great people in the world. Some are special. Most people can't be great no matter what. Oh. Okay, so he basically just pessimism and then they switch. Can type question. I don't know what this note is for. How type question. Does it just point at the one thing? Here we have a how type question, and here we have a can type question. I don't know. Alright, so does it have to be that way? Yes. So the next question is going to be why does it have to be that way, I assume? What do you think? I think people can change. You want to discuss? Yes. Okay. Human nature related to fact resistant and connected to ego. Oh, 2B. Can be sidelined by A, expert in field, B, authority. Well, he just said you can't change it, and now he said you can. Does it have to be that way? He doesn't know what words mean. He's not a logical thinker. He's not trying to think logically. He's not being precise. So he's like, he literally contradicted himself already. Like this means it doesn't have to be that way. With a huge effort, you can change it. The answer was no. Like this was a theory question. And he answered with it's impractical to change it because it's too hard, so you can't change it. Even though if someone was actually rational and put in effort, they could. So he doesn't care about ideas. Like, he's not really trying to do abstract thinking. Answer my question? Which question? Wait, seriously, which question? I can't tell from the tree what question this is talking about. This is a problem with the tree. I assume this is not a problem with the discussion, although it could be. Is it this one here? Maybe it's this one. But yeah, the tree should make it clearer what question he's talking about. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this is the question. Effort to bring back can type. No inherent knowledge. Learning a bad idea over a better one is not enough. He's not focusing on necessities. He's not using words with their precise meaning. He's not differentiating between all and most. He's not differentiating between like theoretically possible and practical. So you guys are talking about like very different things. Well, who said anything about changing the whole society? The issue is whether anyone could be different. Like the question was not, do you think it has to be that way that most people or all people are like that? The question was, do you think it has to be that way that literally every single person is like that? It's the same issue. He's not. You guys are talking about totally different things. He's not paying any attention to every time Nick says what he means. So Nick needs to pick up that this is going on, pick up on it, and clarify more. Because this whole discussion is you guys are not communicating successfully. Pragmatic. Impasse. Okay, this is true. He did contradict himself and Nick noticed. Let's see what happens here. Difference between theory and right. Well, he was asked a theory question. I don't know. You can't stick to a regular discussion? Is this what you do? Find someone better to talk to. Talk to someone on the FI server. You can do better than this. The reason this discussion does not work, above everything else, is this right here. He doesn't want it. He's not interested. It's not his thing. He's not trying. Like, he's screwing up a lot, and there's lack of skill, and there's a little bit of stupidity, and so on. But those are not the primary issues. The primary issues is he's not trying. If he was trying, he could do better. He said he was interested, but he wasn't. At the beginning, or when you asked him if he was interested in discussing it, he thought you meant something different than what you actually meant. Something like that happened. At least you agreed to quit, like, in a decent amount of time. This could have gotten a lot worse. Oh, jump to present. Oh, here's where the new messages start. Oh god, this is... You called him a liar, so he's calling you a liar? Jesus, that's not gonna work well. Using an awful source is not lying. Oh wait, this is Freeze talking. I got confused. He doesn't. This guy just doesn't know what he's talking about. He literally doesn't know the standard definitions. He's very arrogant. Like, it's fine if you don't know the field. It's not fine if you're just making pronouncements that experts in the field like Popper and Deutsch are just wrong because they don't know the definitions of words. Like, it's quite bizarre. And he can't actually give precise definitions of the words himself or point out the differences. But I think Freeze needs to focus on his own learning more. Freeze doesn't know how to argue this very productively. But he gets like, he likes this more than trying to make trees or do learning plans or do problem solving. Like, it's a way of avoiding his own problems to some extent, I think. I don't know what this is or who said this. Anyway. Alright, let me try to remember if there's anything else I want to do on stream, because pessimistic idealism's not here. But I got through Nick's trees. And I wrote. I can post the writing. Let's see what we got. I think this one was a bit more introductory suitable. Okay, see attached image. So. I'm gonna make a PDF. Okay. So yeah, this seems more accessible than the last one, so I'm gonna make it a tier 1 post instead of a tier 2 post. So 35 instead of 100 post. Anything else I want to do? I'll check Twitter. $5,000 trees, one guy chopped down. What the fuck? What do olive trees even look like? I want to see like zoomed in with the olives. Like a close-up? That's like super zoomed in. There's like a normal tree with like olives growing near the leaves. Probably not gonna work. Are these like mini olive plant things? I can't see the olives. I don't know how it's so hard to find. Like, I wanted an olive tree where it was just like a medium range where you could see the olives and the tree at the same time. And all I find are trees plus one super zoomed in one on a tiny area. Anyway. Oh, migrants, plural. That makes more sense. I was fucking wondering. Oh, it did say migrants, plural, I just misread it. What the fuck? Um, okay, well, on that note, I will end the stream later.